You must be losing your mind.
Gerrit Cole down with elbow problems, elbow inflammation, the same exact problem that he had last year, where he was shut down until about June. Thank God that we had Luis Gil last year step up in his place. But guess what? The guy that's supposed to step up in his place is also hurt with a lat strain, going to be out 6 weeks. So the Yankees look like the MASH crew. And this isn't good, Chris, because better AL East with a better Boston Red Sox team this year. The Yankees will be lucky to get out of the division if this is the way that the season keeps going. What's up, Chris?
Look, it's not going to be a cakewalk. Eric and I were talking during the week, and dude, just run this fucking team like the NFL does. Bring these young guys up, sink or swim. Will Warren, let's go. Spencer Jones, let's go. Lombard, let's go. Just play him. Who cares? We're going to wait 6 more years to see him in the majors? I don't see the downside of just starting them in the bigs.
No, I think it's deeper. It's a deeper problem than that, Chris. I think Jason Dominguez is a perfect example. Brian Cashman develops these guys that can't play the field, that don't have a well-rounded game. Either they can hit and they can't field. Either they can field like Volpe and they can't hit. Blah, 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 vice versa. So I think it shows the downfall in Brian Cashman's evaluation process is because he can't plug and play these guys. Like, we're not the Atlanta Braves, where they're just dragging these guys at 19 years of age and throwing them. The Yankees historically don't just play guys.
No, never.
They got to screw with them. Remember Jabba rules.
They keep them under their thumb for 6 years.
Keep them under their thumb. They're trying to do the dance with the 5 years and keeping them under contract, not sending them down with minor league, sending them down. You only have a certain amount of time. So that all being said, the Yankees are in big trouble this year to start the season. Now, where are the runs going to come from was the biggest discussion that we had. Mitigating runs was starting pitching, the bullpen. But now, since you have Luis Gil was okay. We could have got away with him. Luis Gil, Gerrit Cole is now out of your starting rotation. Now you're starting the season with your strong point as the bullpen. You're going to start going into those arms really early because now under the new rules, they've restricted the rosters. So you can't expand the rosters until later in the season, so you don't have a big as a bench. And you can't carry as many pitchers. Guys used to be able to carry 14 to 16 pitchers. Now it's only 13. So now you're going to have to do this delicate balance. But you know what? The Yankees always seem to scratch out 89 to 92 wins with no matter who they have, whether it was Kevin Youkilis playing or Ricky Leday playing. Hal Steinbrenner said this himself, Chris. He said that this roster is not sustainable financially. So this is what we're going to get. We're going to get guys on their first 5-year contracts, just like you said, about getting NFL-minded with their baseball team. I think that's what they're doing. The Yankees used to overpay for guys, and now they got the Lombard Juniors, the development guys, Lombard Jr., Spencer Jones, these guys that are coming up now that are going to be making peanuts for 5 years, while they can pay 3 high-end leverage guys like Gerrit Cole, Stanton, and Judge, but they keep getting hurt.
Well, but my point to bringing them up is throughout history, Cashman has kept them in the minors not only to keep the service time down, but to use them as trade chips to bring in the next left-handed home run guy.
Yes.
Like, how many guys have we traded away? And look, can you name one that's become a perennial all-star? I don't know.
No one's ever come back to bite us in the buns other than Drebeck, and that was 1988 on the he got traded to the Pirates.
So the point being is, if we're not going to be the big spenders or the biggest spenders, then let's start this youth movement and let's get these guys in the game. Let's get these guys playing real baseball in the majors and let them develop. Like you said, we can scratch and claw our way to 84, 85, 88, 90 wins. Let's do it with some of these young guys so that, you know what, maybe we do have a 5-year run of them being completely in our control, and we can patch in where we need to. I mean, let's not forget we have the MVP sitting out there in right field. Yeah. He's not getting any younger. So, I don't know. I don't see the downside. If we're not going to be the evil empire who buys every player, you have to flip to this other model and start bringing these pitchers up and letting them throw and start bringing these guys in and look, it is sink or swim. You can always send them back down for development, but I don't see a big downside when we don't have a third baseman. Stick Lombard out there. What's the worst that happens?
We don't have a leadoff hitter. We don't have a third baseman. We don't have a left fielder. We don't have an ace.
We have a left fielder. His name's Cody Bellinger, and Dominguez could be a center fielder.
But that's the thing. Did you hear the reports that came out today?
No.
This speaks perfectly to Brian Cashman's development of prospects, is that the fact that the reason that Dominguez hasn't played center yet is that he can't play center. That left field is a better option for him than center field. And you can see, actually, I got to give some credit to Jason. He was really good in the outfield last night. He made a couple of catches on line drive things. It's good. That's what spring training is for, too, by the way. Listen, man, we never even used to pay attention to spring training. It wasn't even televised when we were goddamn kids. You would maybe get 2 spring training games a year. Now on the Yes Network, I've been locked in. I've seen already 10 baseball games. And that between World Baseball Classic qualifiers, I've been watching a lot of baseball. But the Yankees can't have their cake and eat it too, Chris. That's what they're trying to do, man. It's either put your feet all in one pair of boots or don't, okay? Either you're going to be the St. Louis Cardinals or you're going to be the Dodgers. Pick one, okay? Either you're going to develop talent, you're going to be a mom-and-pop shop, and now the Yankees have created Frankenstein in the Bronx, bro. You see that stadium? You see the prices? You see the amount of people that they need to sustain to come to that stadium to actually keep running that team? So they're caught in between this, we need names on the field. This is why I started to get really worried about the Yankees, is because I was thinking that the Yankees, before they went to the World Series, was going to turn into MSG, all right? They bring a couple of big names in just to fill the spots. It's a tourist attraction. You got to go see it before you leave town. That's why they get 4 million people. So you throw a few guys out there of name recognition like Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Gerrit Cole, who are all dinosaurs. Aaron Judge is every play that Aaron Judge plays is a ticking time bomb for him to either get hurt with that frame that he has. And how old is he? He's like 32 now, 33. There's the window's closing.
Totally.
And it's not good. The Gerrit Cole, Aaron Judge window's closing. Now, and everyone gives,
32.
I'm tired of people giving the Yankees breaks, certain players breaks on the Yankees. Like Anthony Volpe. If Anthony Volpe wasn't an Italian and he was from Idaho,
he'd be in the minors.
Do you think we would be? Yeah, he would be where, Chris?
In the minors.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much.
Developing somewhere.
He'd be in the minors. People would be asking for his head. People would be like, this guy can't play short. Bring in Lombard Jr. But since his name is Volpe and he's
from Jersey.
Jersey, grew up a Yankee fan. Great story. I don't want a story, man. I want a killer, bro. Like, why aren't we? You bring up a good point with the football reference, but I'm gonna go a different angle. European football. Why aren't we the fucking Manchester United of baseball? Like, why don't we have the best of the best, cream of the crop?
Because we're the poors of the Major League Baseball now. Steinbrenners are towards the bottom of the barrel in terms of total net worth and ownership.
But you don't need money to be smart. Look at the Tampa Bay Rays, bro.
No, you don't. But when you've done one thing for, 20 some odd years, which is sign the best free agent available and just plug them in, it gets really hard to go and do it the other way. It gets really hard to, and I'm not saying that, like, look, they generate a ton of revenue, so you can always spend.
Number one,
they're not going to spend $1 billion like the Dodgers. That's fine. Their ownership group is, billionaires 10 times over from other things. But it's really hard to go from we're just going to sign the best free agent to the Tampa Bay Rays who just churn out pitchers left and right.
And they're going to be right there this year.
And here's my thing. I don't know that Cashman is the guy to do it. I don't know that he's the guy to turn the team into that developing talent overseas, Dominican pipeline, like finding the high school guys. Like, I just don't see it. Like I said before, we've had how many of these guys come up? Joba, Betances, this, that. None of them did anything in the bigs. Like Severino, okay.
Well, then also, but you have to take into consideration, Chris, is where you're drafting every year. If you haven't had a losing season in 36 years, you're drafting 30th every year in the first round.
Okay. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I have no idea what the stats are. Major League Baseball draft is the biggest crapshoot in all of sports.
It's okay. Like, it's gotten better in the last few years, but you're right. You're right.
I would plant the flag and say, guess what? All these guys who are studs right now were not top 10 picks. Some of them might have been 7th round. Some of them might have been the guys who, they gave a bigger bonus to because they didn't want to draft. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
was watching
there's so many weird.
I was watching YouTube, and it was it was like the top 100 prospects of the last 15 years, and like maybe 3 guys you've heard of.
Right.
So so you're right. It is a crapshoot, but I'm going to ask you a question because I've noticed one thing trending in the last 20 years. Kind of like since Bryce Harper, and I was actually talking to a guy about this today, is how much Lombard Jr. reminds me of Alex Cora on the Houston Astros. I remember when the Houston Astros were terrible and they were in the
Carlos Correa.
Carlos Carreras, thank you.
Yeah.
And they were in the complete rebuild, right? When they went and did that with the Houston Astros, they were developing guys. They were actually bringing these guys up and plugging and playing. That's what we need to get back to. That's
Totally.
that's what we need to get back to.
I mean, dude, to flip it to the NFL, the Ravens, since Harbaugh's been there, they've been a playoff adjacent team, drafting in the bottom 10, 12. And every single year they draft a Pro Bowler. Like, every single year they draft somebody that becomes a Pro Bowl player. So, like, there's an art to scouting and finding talent. And
yeah, I agree.
We just don't have it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. When you have the situation that the Yankees have right now, they're going to have to pivot and they're going to have to go get some arms immediately or start this youth movement. But now you're caught in between the team that just went to the World Series and is trying to replicate, and it's really worrying about me that every pundit is going, oh, the Yankees are going to win the American League hands down. It's like, bro, will you stop just...
Yeah, I don't know where, I just don't know where the innings are going to come from right now. Forget about the runs. I still think we'll produce, like I do.
Yes.
I mean, I think we'll produce runs, but where are the innings coming from?
Yeah.
If Cole's down, if Eel's down, you got Rodon, that guy hasn't pitched a good game since God knows when.
You got Max Fried, you got Rondon, you got Clark Schmidt, you got Will Warren's going to have to cook, and I'm missing a guy, Stroman.
I mean,
listen, it sets back the bullpen for the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
It's not good. None of this, you can't spin any of this a good way. And what I was going to say before is, and I lost my train of thought, but I just got it, happens when you get to your 40s, is that when you have these drafts like Bryce Harper and the Houston Astros, like I was mentioning before, it seems like baseball has grown to more of not of a sure thing, I'm going to say, but they've gotten better at evaluating the talent on the field to know who's going to project to be good. Because, you have the Bryce Harpers of the world. I've heard these guys that come in, and it's like, okay, this guy's going to be the next big thing.
Like Skeens.
Yeah, and they come in.
We knew it. He came in, and he's a Cy Young guy.
Miller on the Oakland A's.
Yes.
It's like these guys are coming up. They're studs. We know they're studs, and they're going to be a stud. So I think the evaluating is getting better because of analytics, because of the computer, because of AI, and all of that stuff. But then, I'm the old eyeball test guy, where I love seeing Giancarlo Stanton run around dude, we should address these fucking problems years ago, man. And it's like we were lucky to get to the World Series last year because it's a weak American League. We got Rizzo playing first. We got Verdugo playing left. He's trying to get cute, bro. That's what he's trying to do. They're trying to play a cat and mouse game of just spend just enough money below the luxury tax, get 4 million people into the stadium, be competitive. And if we lose the World Series, we go, hey, it's a crapshoot. Or we go, hey, the Dodgers spent how much money?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. With that being said, I do love watching these young guys mash right now. And it's like, give them a reason not to put you on the freaking roster.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And
I know it's not going to happen. I know it's a pipe dream for 19-year-old Lombard, but guess what? Jeter came up. He was 19 years old, 20 years old as a rookie. You gotta give somebody an opportunity because who knows? Maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and he is your next 20-year guy. I don't know.
But the fucking stakes are too high, Chris. You get a team of rookies out there, and these guys, we just got finished saying Cashman hasn't produced fucking nobody.
I know.
All right, so now you want to field a whole team with these nobodies?
No, look again.
No, hold on. Just hear me out for a second. This is DEFCON 5, bro. We don't have our ace. We don't have the fucking leader in the locker room, Giancarlo Stanton, the unannounced captain. You don't have Luis Gil with his stuff, eating up innings and gaining on his year. So now you're going to put these guys in that Cashman's picked that we don't know, that's smoke and mirrors to get chips for the big free agent. So now we're going to shine light on our worst and weakest guys. We need to keep those guys in the shadows and That's why, I don't know, I would have had Marcus Stroman snake in a toilet rather than pitching this
They're
spring
getting
training.
shelled.
Right, your stock is only going to go down. You're not going to improve your status, Marcus Stroman, by pitching 0 earned runs in a spring training start. The only way is if you get shelled. That's the only thing people are going to pay attention to. They should have had this guy polishing helmets until somebody went, hey, we need a pitcher. Can we give you a stick for a pitcher?
Yeah.
And he just got his head tattooed. So if you think that's going to end well, you're crazy too. Full RoboCop.
Look, my Spencer Jones, there's really no spot for you unless he's the DH until August. While
Ben Rice is going to be the DH.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Mike Stanley 2.0.
So Lombard, guy can play third base.
Guy looks like a stud, bro.
Guy looks like a stud. Just give him the opportunity. Who else is there?
Now,
Oswaldo Cabrera is going to be the guy.
Do you think he's not? He's a good bench guy.
Yeah, totally.
Do you think though that it's almost like the development of a baseball player is kind of like a development of a quarterback going into the NFL? So like you could shell shock these guys, right?
Yeah, I think honestly, yes and no. I think yes in New York, but I think hell, this
No. I'm not even saying by atmosphere. What I'm saying is by physical performance as an athlete, because like confidence. I think baseball is mostly in between the ears. Look at the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Okay,
yeah. Guy was written off.
Trash, right? Written off, undersized, too blah blah blah. The second half of the season, the guy looked like a stud. Okay, yeah. So in the beginning, he was getting his teeth kicked in. And you listen, man. You were an athlete. I was an athlete. No one likes doing something that you're bad at and going into the office every day and continuing to do something that you're bad at. So what I'm saying is they really hold these guys with gloves now because they don't deal with
But here's the flip side of it.
well.
Well, here's the flip side of it. What good is it to have your 19-year-old hitting the freaking cover off the ball in AAA for an entire season? He's not being challenged. He's just doing his thing, and he's just waiting his turn, right? Like, come up, take the licks. If you're completely overmatched, all right, you got work to do. But it's a litmus test.
Yeah, he's from Florida.
Just like we hope spring training is a litmus test, but it doesn't ever seem to really shake anything, you know? I never really hear of, like, the spring training all-star gets a spot on the roster and sticks. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, they're trying to do that with the DH. I always forget this guy's name. Dom Smith? Yeah, Dom Smith.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Get out of my face.
Wasn't he a Met?
Bro,
years ago?
Yeah. Dude, get out of my face with Dom Smith. Okay? Like, really. This is the problem. This is what the Yankees do. They become, the Kevin Youkilis Yankees. Remember that squad?
Mm-hmm.
What a problem that was. Bro, like, it's not going to go well.
We got time. It's March 8th. All right?
I know, and I'm panicking.
I know.
The Orioles...
Smoke a J. Relax.
The Orioles didn't get it.
Maybe don't watch a spring training game or two.
No.
Take a day off.
No. The Orioles took a step back, but they're still going to be competitive. The Red Sox scared the shit out of me this year.
They got a lot better. But they got freaking... Who knows what's going to happen up there? You got Devers, who won't change his position. That guy's got to become a cancer at some point. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?